Hi friends, it's Em and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be setting up my March reading journal. Honestly, I'm so excited. I love spring, I really do. Even though I feel like I consistently would rank it last in my favorites. But it's just getting to see the sun again. I miss the sun, I'm a sun creature. So today I'm going to be using the March kit from Archer and Olive because it felt very springy. There were books, there were rabbits. I don't know. I liked it. It gave me some cute little cottagecore kind of vibes. I don't know if they're going for that for each release or not, but they certainly nailed it. And March is consistently a month where I read a ton of books. Usually it's because it's spring break. But I'm an adult now and I don't have children, so I don't get a spring break. It's possible that April might end up being my sort of like big reading month because I'll be traveling in April to go wild. Very exciting. But this is sort of where we're at when it comes to my reading. All right, so I am fully committed to my 50% BIPOC authors to the point where like I'm legitimately prioritizing them because I want so badly to have that be 50% or higher in my reading wrap up. So stay tuned for February to see if I actually meet that goal or not. Here, I'm just kind of like going with this lemon, woodsy, eclectic, cottagecore spring vibe. Lots of like Victorian motifs, I feel like, where it's like the brooch or like that they would have that has the silhouette in it. That's sort of the vibe I'm going for. And then I'm writing down the first quote, which is "The Earth Laughs in Flowers" by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who I think he was a transcendentalist, which basically means they're all about nature. So, what more perfect for spring, honestly? Honestly, there's so many books coming out in March. I feel like, I say this so often, I feel like January, March, and July are when like a ton of books come out. I've been so good at my NetGalley though. I've been so good. My ratio increased. I went from 93 to 94. I'm barely at 94 if I'm being honest, but whatever. It's fine. I'm mostly surprised by that just because I've been reading a ton of like new release and backlist titles. So I just finished reading The 7-Month Itch by, I want to make sure I'm going to try and say this right, I think Tanvier Pearl. It could be Tanvier, but I think it's Tanvier. An indie author release. I'm also currently listening to The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest. And I'm taking notes. I'm, seeing who I might want to pick for a Joyful Chaos chat, because we're still sort of planning those out for the year. And so you can see here, I just cut out some dot grid paper folded it in half, typical elementary school style, and made like a little sort of ellipse or an oval if you're not a mathematician. And it's just going to be a lot of sort of circular, like writing around the outside of those. And I don't know, it makes me so happy. March is also, hold me to this, it's going to be a book low spend month. So I will get a book of the month, and I will get aardvark, because that's just how it goes. But I will not and set foot in a bookstore. Even, oh God, I don't know if I can hold myself to that if my Afterlight subscription comes through though, because the Bergman Brothers books are coming out, and it's like a really, really gorgeous sprayed edges set. It's so pretty. It's gonna be like $200. So, if you're a sugar daddy and you feel like buying me that would be great. But we're buying a house, hopefully. So we need to get sort of like in that state of mind, and save a whole bunch of money, because as of right now, we have a big closet with no bars or anywhere to put our shoes so that our cat will not pee on them. That's basically where we're at. I'm trying really hard. I have 2 books left to read for March, which are, I think, what is it? Happily Never After? Yeah, Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. And then Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Farida Abike Iyemide. There are a lot of accents in there. I'm not going to pretend that I said that right. I don't know how to say it right, but I'll work on that. But I'm very excited for both of those. I loved Ace of Spades by Farida. It was so good. It was so good. And I'm really hoping that this other one just sort of like slaps as well. I'm also, oh my god. Let me just talk about my library holds really quick because I'm stressed. I have so many books that I want to read, and I'm waiting for my hold of the Hurricane Wars to come in. In Libby, right? If it says several months, that means like years, honestly. So I'm waiting for that. I'm also waiting for The Violin Conspiracy, House of Flame and Shadow, and then The Perfect Find by Tia Williams. That one is a several months situation, which is so annoying. But it's just because they only have like 2 copies versus some of the others have like 20. In the case of Sarah J. Maas's, they have 43 copies, which is a lot of copies. But we shall see. I'm also really hoping, I don't know, there's a lot of cozy fantasies that I'm wanting to read. I just got one called The Honey Witch, which has so many florals on the cover. It feels very springy. But I don't know if, for me, spring isn't really about fantasies. Fantasies are for fall. But do you guys have like a preferred genre to read at certain times of the year? I don't know. I also love my March TBR this month with this sticker with the candle and the teapot. And it just looks so perfect, in my opinion. But let's talk March TBR. So I have the 2 books I already mentioned. Then there's Nosy Neighbors, which, honestly, I don't know anything about it. I got declined for it on NetGalley, and then I got approved for it through a widget. I have absolutely no idea what it's about, but it sounded good. And then we have Here We Go Again, which is Alison Cochran's new book. I've loved everything that she's ever written. I think this is about a road trip, maybe. Possibly. Clearly, I don't actually know what the books are about before I read them. Then I have The Fellowship of Puzzle Makers, which I'm hoping is actually about people who make puzzles. I think there might be murder involved, potentially. Then there's The Kiss Countdown, which I know is about a hot astronaut. Can't wait. Very excited to read Edda's book. Late Bloomer. And so Late Bloomer is a sapphic flower farm. I know that. Very excited. Then we have Beyond Getting By, which is a nonfiction. I've actually been pretty good about reading one nonfiction each month. So this is about like finances and how to make sure that, you're doing better than just getting by each month. I definitely feel like I could be doing a better job in terms of savings and like allocating money in like the right places so that I'm actually like making progress rather than just saving, than just getting by. Then we have Song of the Six Realms, which is by Judy I. Lin. She wrote a magic steeped in poison and a venom sweet and dark, maybe? her tea duology. This one definitely feels a bit more mythological, I would say. It's reminding me of Daughter of the Moon Goddess a little bit, which I think it's just, they're just different mythological retellings. Also, we have Sound the Gong, which is the sequel to Strike the Zither, which I loved back in 2023. Very excited to read this one. I honestly have forgotten everything that happened in the first book, but, you know, that's par for the course. Then we have Happy Medium by Sarah Adler, who I read her Mrs. Nash's Ashes, and it was so fucking funny. And I'm hoping that Happy Medium is just as funny, if not more. And then we have Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed, which I'm very excited to read. This is for a book challenge because it's for the nominated for the Booker Prize, I think. And yeah, I have no idea what it's about. I know a ton of people love it, and I'm excited to check it out. Like, that's kind of how my TBRs go. In my last TBR for February, let me just double check it. I think I read all but one book, and that's because my hold expired on one of them. Because I thought I was going to be able to read Daughters of Izdihar last month, and it just didn't happen. I prioritized Ander and Santi Were Here, which I loved. I loved every second of that book. It, like, punched me in the heart, made me sad and happy and all the things. And in prioritizing that, I lost out on Daughters of Izdihar. But it's okay. I'll just place another hold. It'll be fine. I'm so excited. I feel like I've been reading so many good books lately. And I don't think that March is going to be any different. I think that March is going to be a hell of a reading month. And I think it's going to be really cute, too, in my journal. I will say that I don't know. I do want to update my library savings tracker because I did listen to a lot of audiobooks this month from my library, as well as just like some regular ebooks. For Ander and Santi, I was almost through the audiobook and it was taking so long, I just needed to know how it ended, so I checked out the ebook because it was gonna take, I think, 45 minutes on audio to finish, and I was like, I don't have 45 minutes before I fall asleep, I gotta go. And it was great. I will, like, if you are able to get multiple library cards on Libby, you absolutely should, because it gives you way more options. The Knox library is lacking in some regards that other libraries are not. I also would love to get more Tennessee library cards. Like, if I could get one for Nashville, that would be sick. I don't know if you can, though. Someone tell me. Carson, if you're listening to this, tell me how I can get a Nashville library card. But that's about it for my setup. I hope that it wasn't too random. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, we'll just take a quick little flip through of this sort of springy cottagecore junk journal vibes spread. And as always, happy planning.